My plan is my role first is to set the stage and lay out the context. And then Kelly's going to talk about DI2. Unfortunately, Jennifer Moore was unable to be with us today, so I'm going to pick up the slack and talk a little bit about our partnership and the work we're doing on some of the technology work we're doing. And then I'll sort of come back and close things out as well. So, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about what the WashU Libraries are. We're a research library at an R1 institution. We have the traditional suite of services. We have strong support for research and student success. And of course, we are always looking for ways to integrate technology to improve the way we provide those services. This is a new mission and vision statement that we've just rolled out in the past year that sort of captures that connection to the university strategic plan and talks about the vision forward and driving the discovery of knowledge as an integral part of our work, and looking at technology as a way to do that. So, that's our sort of direction going forward. And sort of that was the way of placing the libraries among and within the strategic vision of the university. This is a encapsulation of the university strategic plan that the university has put out, and we've sort of called out where digital transformation is called out specifically in the map. Now, the libraries are not called out specifically, but the libraries see a lot of connection to most, if not all, of the pillars that are part of digital transformation. But we have a particular affection for and connection with the digital transformation folks. So I am going to turn it over to Kelly to let her talk a little bit about DI2 and what the organization is and then how it's organized.
Sure. So the Digital Intelligence and Innovation Accelerator, which is a mouthful. So the DI2 is, as Mimi said, part of the strategic plan, the Here and Next strategic plan. We are the university's hub for accelerating digital transformation powered by AI and emerging technologies. Our mission is to empower researchers, faculty, students with the tools and the talent and the infrastructure that they are needed to turn data into discovery and ideas into impact. So oftentimes researchers will come to us with bold visions, and our job is to help make them real with the technologies that are in staff and the guidance and support that our team can offer. So often, as I said, researchers will have a vision of what they want, but may lack the technical knowledge or the experience or the resources to execute on those ideas effectively. And that's where the DI2 team comes in. Specifically, our development arm is the Digital Solutions Studio, or DSS. I know, I'm killing you with acronyms. The DSS bridges the gap between innovative ideas and practical execution, offering software and data engineering services to bring those research projects to life. So our researchers today face the challenge of getting clarity among a mountain of data, and DI2 tries to help cut through that noise by providing the tools that surface insights, reveal hidden patterns, connect the dots, streamline workflows, and spark better questions, allowing the researchers to focus on the discovery rather than the digital clutter. We established a cycle of digital-first innovation and practice, and are accelerating impactful solutions and driving interdisciplinary collaboration. And as Mimi said, our teams work very, very closely with the library. So I think it's a really good partnership that we've built, and we can talk about a few of the case studies.
Okay, so the resource discovery tool is kind of our highlight case study project. One of the several ways that we have partnered is that the library has been acting as the host location for a series of campus conversations called the Digital Transformation Coffee Hour. It's a roughly weekly opportunity for folks to come. There's usually a sort of featured speaker on a addressing a particular topic related to digital transformation, and it's been great for the libraries to host. We've had a lot of really good interactions with folks on different parts of campus, and it's been a great opportunity to talk about the services that the DI2 folks offer, the services that the libraries offer, the ways we can coordinate it. But inevitably, coming out of these conversations, there was there were always questions around, I wish there were places that we could do X, do Y, do Z, often things that we were already doing. And the question of discoverability and resource discoverability and understanding the breadth of what the campus, all the services that the campus already provides, above and beyond what we're working to be able to do going forward. Understanding what is already provided is a real challenge. So yes, and I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. These were Jennifer's slides. I'm finding my way. But yes, so the Digital Transformation Coffee Hour has been great, brought a bunch of stakeholders together. We're sort of looking at the ways that we found some synergistic projects. We made a lot of connections, developed some partnerships. But this idea of being able to discover and to track and manage resources was a continual theme that came up, and one that the libraries really embraced, and started talking with the digital transformation folks about how we could build out a tool. And we did a little bit of shopping, found some tools that other folks were using. We've played around with a couple of opportunities. And we've got a little bit of a flow chart here, but we've been, did some experimenting with code on tools on some open source tools that we look to borrow from other folks, pulled together a working group, and have started then talking about the concept of a chatbot, and is there a way we can use emerging technologies, particularly chatbots, as a solution to this ongoing challenge.
And I can speak to this.
Please do.
Okay. Again, we're just kind of filling in the blanks here. So one of the things that we had encountered is, as part of the DI2 team, after we had built out the ChatGPT, that's WashU's ChatGPT, we started getting people coming and asking, hey, can you build us a chatbot for this? Or can you build a chatbot for that? And instead of building all those chatbots, what we've developed is a ChatBot Creator. And that actually allows the researcher, or whomever it is that's looking for that chatbot, to come in with their own data and do their own work. And they can ground it on their own data. We are HIPAA, FERPA compliant. Because we built it, it sits within the WashU tenant, and it stays within the WashU tenant. So there's a lot of data privacy that's protected, that's automatically inherently protected there. And so where we are right now with that, having developed it, we've moved into a beta environment, and one of our beta testers is the libraries, and using it as a solution for this resource tool that the libraries would like to develop. So the libraries are currently, I think she had another slide. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the libraries are currently testing this right now, and I love the approach that they've taken. In they have not just one, but they're creating 4 different chatbots with the same kind of grounding of information, taking slightly different approaches, and then comparing what they want to look, how they want that end state tool to look like. We are fairly early on. We expect that in the May timeframe, they will have a tool that can be used and shared with a core group of students and staff and faculty to try out the chatbot that they've created. And it's great for the library because it's giving them the tool that they need, but it's great for DI2 because it's actually testing out the ChatBot Creator that we've got.
So as a case study, this has been a great place where we're looking at technology. We're taking advantage of the technology development capacity that DI2 brings to the table. We're using it to identify effectively a jointly identified need as we've worked through the concerns that have come up in the coffee hours and are consider it a nice jointly identified need that we're partnering to find a solution for. that is by no means the only way that we're partnering, and I included this sort of second case study as a way of showing some of the variety of ways that this partnership has worked. And we've gone from the simple things like providing a place to host coffee hours to the more technology-oriented chatbot development. We have also been working together on the topic of open educational resources. And specifically hosting OER awards. And so the team in WashU Libraries, particularly our scholarly communications team, has been a strong advocate for open educational resources for a while. Also, our subject librarians who have been working directly with students to address questions of textbook affordability have been enthusiastic supporters of open educational resources, and this is actually even something that the students have advocated for. We've had advocacy in our student newspaper for around the greater adoption and use of open educational resources. So DI2 has been the initial funder for this series called the OER Accelerator Awards. That is a way to support our instructors in either creating or adapting OERs for their coursework. We had a call for applications in fall of 2024. We got 11 different applications for folks who wanted to work with OERs, and we were able to fund 8 of them. We had, I'm very excited, we had one that was that was an adoption, so looking to basically take some time to refine their own syllabus to be tied to an existing open educational resource. 4 that were looking to adapt, where they were taking some baseline OERs that existed and fitting them to the pedagogy that they were looking to put forward. And most excitingly, 3 folks who are looking to create new scholarship and new OERs to add to the availability of OERs, OERs writ large. The libraries is hosting them on Pressbooks, so we're making sure that they are available and published. So that is the sort of bit of the partnership, another bit of the partnership that has gone in a very different direction. So thinking about the partnership going forward and sort of what is in our future, the chatbot really is very much front and center in an area where we are really very active. We're working on managing the content and working on making sure we've got the right data to feed in there. We're actively involved in as the beta testing. You saw the coming in the summer, so the goal really is to have this in place and functioning by the time we get to fall of 2025. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to be back and be talking to you about a successful implementation at that time. We need to be doing some user acceptance testing, and there's a lot more planning there. We've got some interesting work going on coordinating shared staffing. Has been another really interesting piece of the partnership, as we proposed and have jointly funded a new position who is he's supporting data management and is part of our data services team within the libraries, but is also actively coordinating and implementing work on the DI2 front. We've spent a lot of time talking about the libraries as a front door to digital transformation, and the staffing approach and some of these joint partnerships has really been a way that the libraries are embodying being that front door to transformation. We're also in the midst of navigating a bit of a leadership change within the DI2 team. And that has changed some of the priorities really on Kelly's side a little bit. So we're looking at that. Interestingly, the OER project is one that I think we're all really proud of, but we may be looking at finding different ways of funding that work going forward, and sort of thinking about how we build projects that have the most direct relationship possible to support our research, and having that a much more distinct research focus, which is one of the OKRs for the DI2 team. I think that was about all we had, but I would love to hear questions either about the case, about the case studies, or about more about partnership in general.
Hi, Mimi. Lorraine Herrick, I'm UT Austin. I'm just curious because libraries have led open educational resource initiatives, mostly libraries on their campuses. Given your larger ecosystem in terms of digital transformation, are you funded centrally for this in the library?
The funding, honestly, this at the moment we're looking at ways to transition the funding as part of this, as part of the leadership transformation within DI2. We're looking to transfer the funding specifically for specifically for the Accelerator Awards. We do provide some support for open educational resources and support for OERs generally within our scholarly communications team, but it's been pretty limited. It's been a bandwidth issue. So this has been the Accelerator Award has been a great opportunity to take advantage of the funding is very helpful in being able to offer the awards, but also being able to offer it as an award program, which was something that we could then advertise. And frankly, the DI2 team has a bit more of a marketing arm than we've had within the library. So it's actually been a really good opportunity to raise the profile of the work that has been going on around OERs because we've had the promotion piece about it. So as DI2 is working through some leadership and budgeting changes, we are definitely working with them to be able to transition funding. And we think we have it is not a line item in my budget yet. We think we have a path forward for next year where we're working through a different model, but and that'll be next fiscal year, and I'll have to figure it out down the road. I would very much like to continue the Accelerator Awards because I think it's a great way to raise interest. It's also been a place where we've been able to work. We've had engagement with the Center for Teaching and Learning as you're sort of thinking about some of the pedagogical aspects of this, and that's been a good partnership as well.
Hi, Catherine Cardwell, University of Nevada, Reno. I'm just curious if you had any resistance on your campus to building an internal chatbot, and if there was, how did you overcome it or how did you avoid it?
I would say the only concern that the biggest concern that we've gotten is all about the security. And for us, especially as Mimi said, as an R1, and we have a very heavy med school, the HIPAA and FERPA compliance is critical for us. And as soon as we're able to answer that I think that alleviates a lot of concern that they have. And the other thing is because we were able to keep it in-house, it is just a little bit more. Yeah, so I wouldn't say we've gotten any pushback on it. More so, I would say probably the inverse, because as we've gotten ready to at least move the ChatBot Creator into beta, we have more people who want to beta test than we have resources to accommodate.
Mm-hmm. And from the library perspective, it has been really helpful to have DI2 to work through the security and those kinds of questions, because I think that we're doing the beta test with this resource identifier, but there's plenty of other opportunities within the kinds of work that we're doing in the libraries where we'd like to be able to take advantage of chatbots. And so being able to look to the DI2 folks to support some of that, particularly the security and concerning issues, has been really helpful.
And we do the couple of the other beta testers that we have. One is a faculty member that's using it to manage their syllabus and their agenda and all of their coursework. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that we've had, but that's a really good example of trying to look at it from different use cases or different perspectives. And right now, our goal is to, as I think, what I would say in the beta test is we did not by design, give a lot of information. We did not give instructions on how to create it. We did not give anything because we wanted the beta testers to figure out where they could break or what needed to be improved in it. So that was our best way to do that.
I'm Jose Jimenez from University of Iowa. My question for you is, you've said a couple of times that it's all in-house. Does that mean that you're running an LLM locally, or have you essentially contracted with ChatGPT to segment off your access to your data?
So I'm not as technical as my counterpart, so I'm going to give you the best answer I can. The developers that we use are, it is our intellectual property. They did development work for us. So it is a group, a development team that did that work for us. Sits on Azure, if I'm not mistaken. And there is some work to have other opportunities or other LLMs out there. So that would be my short answer is it was built on, but it sits within our tenant.
And just to sort of talk a little bit about DI2, like one of the other more noteworthy things that DI2 has achieved is we were pretty early on able to roll out a WashU specific version of ChatGPT that is HIPAA and FERPA compliant, and is so and it was very much DI2 that pushed to get that technology out there. So that is less a place where it has been a library partnership and more a place where we've got that tool out there. It has been helpful for us in the libraries as we are looking at doing things like instruction to be able to know that we've got the secure version of ChatGPT and able to make that available and accessible. But yes, security, that internal, when we talked about things being internal, we're very much focused on particularly the HIPAA compliance because of the large size of the whole. Okay. This has been great. Thanks, everybody.